All right, let's stand and let's have a prayer and a pledge of allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this beautiful new day, and we thank you for getting us through a pretty rough hailstorm last night. We pray for those that are facing damage and problems from that and ask that you would enable them to get restored as quickly as possible. We just thank you for this time to take care of county business and ask for your wisdom and direction on each agenda item. Thank you for those that are present here today that take interest in this process, and thank you for those that serve this county. Watch over our servicemen and women, our local first responders, and thank you for how you have blessed this community. We ask for your continued provision for us. We turn this agenda now over to you in Christ's name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everyone. Our first meeting of the month of March 2018. Today is the 12th day of March, just a few moments after 9 a.m. And we will begin. Item number 1 is our public comment time. This is your opportunity to address the court on non-agenda items in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Anyone? Yes, sir. Sheriff?
Since we had our hailstorm, this is kind of unexpected. I just want to fill you guys in on our damage on our cars. Let's let you know whatever we do, I'll work with Carl and let him know before we do anything what we're going to do on it. Most of our take-home cars actually didn't receive any damage. They keep them put up a little bit. The ones that got the damage we're going to look at is the one that was parking out back. So I think our damage is going to be minimal, but we will have some. But we're going to look at it. Some of them that don't have a lot of bad damage that we may be down in next year, we probably won't repair and spend the money on that, or ask our insurance to do it. So just to let you guys know that we do have some damage, but it's not quite as bad as what I thought it would be. So we'll keep you updated on it. And if you guys have any questions, also I got one of Dana's roads that he had turned in. We've got a list from Al. We're going to try to get all his this week. So if you guys got some road needs to be picked up, the weather's nice. We look like we've got our inmate count's just a little bit lower, so it gives us some more time to pick these roads up. And so if you guys have some spots, just turn in the road and go.
Thank you. You know, I'd say whatever you do on those vehicles, I'd let your insurance company help you make the decision before you just say, "Oh, we're not even going to claim that." Yeah. Very good. Item number 2 is to approve our minutes from our last meeting. That was the February 26th, second meeting of the month of February.
Make a motion, we approve them.
Motion is made by Commissioner Parker to approve that set of minutes. Second. And it's seconded by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 3. This is one of the pleasant things that we get to do. It looks like we have a good contingency here from the JP's office. And as you all recall, our precious Judge Dyke had to take some medical leave time out many months ago and began a long process there, and we are so glad to see her back. But business had to go on while she was out, and we were very fortunate that we had somebody who was capable and somebody who was willing to do not only the job of Justice of the Peace, but also the job that she normally does on a daily basis. And so Terri, the court would just like to express to you and get a couple of pictures, but primarily we want to just recognize this is a unique situation. Maybe this has happened before. You all tell me. Not anything that I know about, but where you have a situation where you have a long-term medical leave of someone that has to be replaced. That function cannot just lie dormant for a while. It's a daily demanding thing, 24/7, and we really appreciate the fact that you were willing to do this. And I have no idea what it did to your family and to your stress level and to your husband, because you kept it quiet and you weren't calling us and complaining to us. You were a real trooper there. And so thank you for taking care of our JP's office, Terri. And if you'll come up here for me, please. And John, if we could maybe get a picture of Terri, and commissioners would like to stand with her, but just you're aware, John, what she did was Paula Dyke has basically herself and a couple of ladies there in the office, and they lost 1/3 of their staff. And Terri did not only her job, but the job of Justice of the Peace, and we know what a demanding job that is. So now you've got time on your hands, I guess. What do you do? What do you do in your spare time?
Chase my grandkids. As a matter of fact, I had one with me this morning, and we were coming in the office. And
Come up to the mic so we can get you on the recording for those that want to watch. It's pretty sensitive.
Okay, this morning, I have one of my grandchildren with me, the one that's the oldest. And he asked me this morning when we came into the office, he said, "Is Paula back yet?" And I said, "Yeah, she is." "So that means she's the judge now?" "Yeah, she is." And he said, "So that means you're not the judge anymore?" And I said, "No, buddy." I said, "She's back." And he said, "Oh, thank goodness. I miss the Danny."
It's been a while, huh?
It's been a while. It's been about
Okay.
7 months. And so my grandkids and my husband and my church family and my Christian Motorcyclists Association family have really missed me. So, but I would have done it no matter what. Because I love my boss, which is my friend besides my boss. So.
Yeah,
Love
a
it.
unique relationship. Do you have time to bring your friends that you brought with you up here to the front so that we could maybe get a picture with them? Could we do that?
This is my other friend that I love. It's Charity, that's helped out tremendously. Of course, my boss and friend, that's my husband, my constable, which is, could I say it?
Not your
Which is
boyfriend.
my uncle, and he'll say that I'm younger than her. And then the other constable, Lisa, and then my grandson.
Good. Well, bring them on up here and let's get a picture if we could. Maybe we can stand up here.
Yeah, we can stand here.
Squeeze in as you can, and we'll have the commissioner standing back there beside you.
Come here, help me look better. Precinct.
Well, if you do that, we'll shift over that way. Don't tell us.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Need one more of those. 1, 2, 3.
Luke, you get yours? Y'all are welcome to stay, welcome to go, we're gonna talk about roads, I don't think we're
Terri, not only on behalf of the court, but on behalf of the Precinct 2 people, we appreciate you. I know all the stuff you do, and I know it's endless. You just continue to go to the jail stuff, and I know what Paula has done all these years, but we really appreciate all your effort and everything you've done. It went smooth. I was going to tell Paula, it's just like we just didn't need her there. She could just, but y'all did a great job. And I know it was a lot of work on all you too.
She's still the queen. I forgot to put that on record. the queen, I'm just the princess.
Thanks, Terry. Appreciate you.
Item number 4 is our regular report from our road engineer, Roger. Welcome, Roger.
Morning.
Morning.
Of course, this morning we're picking up trees from the storm we had Saturday night, Sunday morning. We had about 3 locations that wasn't real bad. Cedar trees didn't do fare too well this weekend. 2 of these, the 3 locations had power lines involved, so it took a little bit longer to get the power cut off so we could get to the trees. We're going to continue patching potholes throughout the county. We're still working on structure ends that have washed out. We plan on starting on working on base layers throughout the county. We have a lot of places where the clay is wet and pumping up to the surface of the road and causing the road to, buckle up and push and shove. We have a lot of places that can't be fixed with just patching on top of the roadway. Some of these areas need to be reworked. Material will need to be blended with existing roadways to add strength and then recompacted and resurfaced. We will need warm weather to be able to do this, to rework these large base layers, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. Right now, we ain't got the best weather this week. It's still pretty cool. Everything's still wet.
Roger, will you tap on that mic? I know I turned it on.
It's on. Not showing to be picking up, but it may. I said it's not showing to be picking up, but maybe it is.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go ahead and start on the smaller base failures this week. These are the ones we can dig out and replace with coal mix. Some of the coal mix that we made out there in the Precinct 2 mixing yard, we want to go ahead and use it all up. Hopefully we can get some decent weather and start making some more of our own mix. Any of the mix we can make ourselves, we're going to save money on making coal mix. And that's pretty much the plan, what's going on right now and what we plan on doing this week and probably next week. Another area, we previously talked about the barricades. Are we still looking at buying 6 sets of barricades? Yeah, we're looking at making them, I think, at one time.
I've got some prices and all on the materials and all to build some. I was going to build a couple and let y'all look at them.
Okay.
And see how it goes. I mean, see if you think they'll work, and we'll go from there then.
Well, one barricade costs, we can get them for $122.95.
122.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a single or a pair?
That's a single.
Single.
Yeah,
Okay.
if we get 12 of them, it's $1,475.
So we approved purchasing them last week. Do you want him to hold off on that until you get a chance to show him your
Yeah,
shop
I'd like to
builds?
talk to Roger about it and see what he thinks. These here will be a little bit heavier probably than what he's got, a little more, maybe a little more bundlesome to move. But I think I can, from what I'm seeing right now, I think I can probably build them for less than 50 a piece. So.
Now, what was wrong with the ones we had?
We just don't have enough of them.
I know.
But a lot of
What
them,
you're talking about building like we had?
Something similar to that, yes, sir.
most of them to comply with the work zone compliance.
What?
There's a list of barricades you can use that are compliant. In other words, they've been crash tested and everything. Most of them require plastic components now.
We sure had a lot of wrecks out there when this road's over, these water gets over every time it rains.
Right.
I mean, what? I don't quite understand all of a sudden that we gotta go spend some $100 barricades. Maybe I'm crazy.
I mean, we could keep putting up the tape. The sheriff's office was the one that really wanted the barricades. I think the barricades are a good idea. They're a little more visible than what the tape is. None of the tape is reflectorized that we use, is it?
Well, yeah, I mean, for that, right, the tape too is where I pull it up, is it, you just wash downstream and double dash it.
Right, most people drive to do it.
Or either rain or something, either get to it, into the trash, so.
barricades get their attention more too.
Okay, well, last week we approved buying 6 pair, right?
Right.
Do we not want to go forward in that?
Did we say 6 pair or 6
Well,
6
12
pair.
of them total, but 6 sets.
12.
pair? I didn't remember being paired.
Yeah, there were 6 sets of them, 12 total barricades.
So,
I just think that, I've been back here since 2002, and we've got the same roads that the water gets over every time, just about with any kind of sizable rain, and we've got some barricades in Precinct 1. We had homemade barricades that we put up, and they did good. They got run over, mashed too. I don't know how that happens, but they did. And it seemed to work pretty good. It's 2002, what's this, 2018, 16 years? I don't know of any wrecks or any problems where people run into the water. And I don't know how, I don't think it's possible if we got millions and millions and millions of dollars to raise these roads up so they wouldn't have water on them. But like you said, 27, I got about 7 or 8 in Precinct 1 that every time we get a good heavy rain, but it's only going to be up over the road for a couple of hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours, or not a day, so it just depends on how much you want to spend. We can make freeways out of some of these county roads too, but how much you want to spend?
where are we going? I'm not sure what you're even arguing for.
Oh, you don't? Well, I'll tell
Do
you what.
you
they
want
got.
us to buy their barricades or not? I got confused there. I
Okay.
thought you said that we had a lot of wrecks.
No, we have not
I
had any
thought that the
wrecks.
first thing you said was we had a lot of wrecks.
No, well, we haven't had a lot of wrecks.
Okay.
And for us to jump up here and start spending money all of a sudden on barricades is kind of ridiculous.
Okay, did we
because-
not make this decision at the last meeting?
Well, I thought it was 6, but I thought.
It was 6.
6 sets. Yeah.
Well, I know
6
it's
sets.
But anyway,
Okay.
that's okay.
So the question is, are we going to not, you want to hold off on buying those till you see the shop built, or do we have an immediate need for them that we really
I
should
guess we can
get some?
hold off. See what
I'll
you
get
come
with
up
you, I'll get with you today and talk to you, and we'll decide from there what,
Okay.
if you want me to do it or whatever.
All right.
Does that include the sign that went on them? I don't think
No.
it did.
No. Each of the road close signs is about $90 a piece.
And each barricade needs to have that on there?
Yeah, it really does.
Well, it does?
Yes.
But you're not building the signs,
No,
right?
Wait a minute.
no.
Okay.
What,
That needs to be bought? Okay. Your suggestion is that we go, what do you want to see us do here?
I like the plastic barricades, the type 1 plastic barricades, and we can put the road close sign on front. The road close sign's reflective, the striping on the barricade's reflective, they're lightweight, they're plastic, they won't rot over time. I mean, and they're also approved. They're on the
Yeah.
approved list, crash tested and everything.
Okay. Well, that's what I thought we were going to do, buy 6 pairs. We knew that wouldn't satisfy all the need, and that buys us a little time and gives you some time to build some more. But now, if you have changed your mind and don't want him to do that, then let's give him direction.
I want him to do what we agreed to do by 6 sets, and then you can look at that as but we're gonna need a lot more than 6 at some point in time. But, hey, it's just March.
Yeah, I mean, we can
Wait till
get
May
this.
gets here.
We can get to 6 sets and see how they work. See if people steal them, see if they disappear.
Okay. Well, you were authorized to get 6 sets.
But, I mean, is that what y'all want to do?
That's fine.
And that'll take care of it right now, because you had some roads last night that need to be closed. 45, 50 had power lines down, trees down, and they needed to be closed. Something needed to be up out there. I know we had tape
We
and
had tape
stuff,
out there, yeah.
but, and it's not some people running into stuff and tearing stuff up. There's some that do that on purpose. But what you do, people say, well, I think I can cross, and they start across there, they get down there and the water's about to come in the vehicle, and they're in a jacked up truck, and all of a sudden they're going down a creek. That's when you get somebody killed.
Okay, so what are we gonna do? Go ahead and buy 6 sets? Then we'll look at making some additional if we need them.
Because you were needing like 20
We
cents,
had like
15
26,
cents?
27 locations, and I knew we probably can't afford enough barricades to do all that. But
Okay.
I know there's always some at the sheriff's department. Your people, request barricades. Some of the deeper locations when they get kind of scared, people drive through it.
Okay. Well, that way you can compare the shop builts to the plastic and have a better idea. But I think we need an inventory of some signage right now with the storms we're getting. This, we're not done yet.
Wet season right now.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and buy the 12 barricades, then we'll look at building some.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else, Roger?
We were supposed to open some bids today, a water truck and a cab chassis.
Well, I've got the bid, but they're not on the agenda.
Can we, I was not aware to have that on the agenda, but
I don't know what.
can we not go ahead and open them? Because he's going to have to examine the trucks anyway. We won't make any buying action on those.
Yeah, I didn't read the ad, as long as that's what the ad said.
All right, first one is for ARTEX, Artex International out of Texarkana. And these, we expect to see bids for what, tell me again what they are, a water truck?
We took out bids for a water truck and a cab chassis that we can make into a water truck. We're not sure which direction we want to go exactly. We had problems finding a water truck before, so it may be easier to get a cab chassis and actually buy the tank and water system to go on it. May come out cheaper that way too.
All right, here's the first one here. This is a price $53,000 on a 2013 International 4300 2,000-gallon water truck. 245 horse engine with PTO, automatic transmission, 33,000 pounds. It has 190,000 miles on it. Rear spray with 2 spray heads, rear hydrant fill tube, control, cab mounted, 3-inch discharge, 4-inch tank to pump supply with butterfly valve. Clear Texas DOT inspection done. So that's on your water truck. That same company here, next bid. If you want to put those back together.
That was just the chassis, right?
No, it's a truck. That was the water truck there with the tank on it and everything.
It looks like they've given, this is the same company. Now this is a 2013 International 4300 cab and chassis. Is that what that one said? That's just the truck. This is cab and chassis. So what does that mean? What's the difference in the truck versus?
That's a truck without anything on the back. It doesn't have a bed on it, doesn't have a
But it
water
has a
tank.
cab, surely, doesn't it?
It has a cab, yes.
Well, why does this one say cab and chassis?
The cab chassis is, like if you're familiar with a box truck,
Yeah,
a box man type truck.
Yep.
You got the cab and chassis, which is, the frame and everything. Then you got the box on the back that makes it a box truck, okay? Same thing with this, we're wanting to buy a cab chassis, which is basically the cab and the frame, okay? And we want to make a water truck out of it. We want that option.
okay.
And
So
we're looking
this
for-
is a supplemental piece. It's not two competing bids.
No, they're not two
All right.
competing bids.
2013 International 4300 cab and chassis, 245 horsepower engine with PTO, automatic transmission, 33,000 gross vehicle weight, 190,000 miles.
Same truck, they just took the tanker off.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. with
All
the
right,
tank
that's
off
why,
of it.
now
Same truck with the
now I
tank off of it.
understand. Okay, one was complete and one is without the tank.
Water tank and
Very- all
spray
right.
system.
There we go.
What was the price on that cab?
30,000.
So it's 43,000 for the tank.
Yeah, and we think we can get it for 18.
This is Leadwell and Son out of Texarkana, Leadwell and Son. This looks like a Leadwell 2,000-gallon tank, 120 inches long, 96 inches wide, 56 inches tall, and it's $62,565. It is a would that be a price on just the tank?
No, it should be
It should be truck in.
Okay, well, back here on the second page, it says 2013 International Conventional Chassis Model 4300, 210-horse diesel engine with an Allison transmission. So I guess $62,565 would be the total price. There's your picture of it.
Okay.
Did it have the mileage?
I'm looking for that right now. If it's on here, it's well hidden.
Your model is a truck.
13. Same, it's also an international, but I don't see mileage. Let me, okay, well, maybe they have several of these, but this one, this spec sheet says 130 to 175,000 miles, so maybe they have some options to choose from. So it'd be in that mileage range. 62.5 would be the price on all that package.
Okay, so it didn't submit a bid for a cab chassis?
Did not,
Truck.
unless it's in another one, but I don't see that it is.
Okay.
Yeah, there is not two separate prices on here.
Since we only got basically 2 bids, can we continue to solicit bids? Okay.
Oh, I've got 2 more here.
Oh, you got, okay.
This is ETTS out of Tyler.
Do it all again.
East Texas Truck Systems. This is a 2,000-gallon tank install priced at $28,600.
What year model?
It's
Well-
just a tank.
But then at the bottom, it has chassis specs. Does that mean this is the chassis it fits on? Surely they're not including a chassis as well. Chassis specs for a 99 International 4900, 174,160 miles. Why would they be giving us that information if that's not included?
I don't know. We'll have to look at it and see call them and see what their intent is.
He's gonna follow up on you.
Yeah.
Judge, on this, I just read the stuff and let him do some calling and he
Get back.
can write all that and get back to us.
Okay, well,
She need to open the ring, and all the court is done on there besides that.
I would think that was just the tank only, why he mentions this. Maybe he's saying that's what it came off of, perhaps.
Now, I know he had some water trucks about that price before, so it could be a water truck.
Yeah. Down here,
Yeah. Why would he give all the specifics on the tank install? 2,000 water tank installed onto customer's chassis. But there's not a price on the chassis itself.
Okay. So it sounded like just the tank installation.
I would think so. And here's the last one. Lone Star Truck Group. There's 2 items here. $2,000 water tank mounted on a 2014 FTL Auto Freightliner conventional chassis. Let me get to the price. This is $61,213, so that sounds like a complete package. Cummins 220 horse diesel engine, Allison transmission, air brake package, 2 50-gallon fuel tanks, and then a Leadwell 2,000-gallon tank. Looks like the same dimensions, 120 by 96 by 56. Total quote $61,213. And then let's see what this second one is. Looks like he's giving you pictures and specs on multiple trucks here, each with separate pricing. Got a 2012 Freightliner at $19,900, 2014 Freightliner at $31,600, a 2010 International at $19,200, a 2011 International at $26,000, another International 2011 at $26,000. So perhaps, and they all look like they're painted the same, like maybe they came from a fleet, and he's just giving you different prices on all these.
Okay. We got several prices on cab chassis then from him.
Is any of the tanker trucks we got, tanks good enough? You're gonna have to get a good use or
We're probably gonna have to buy, we don't have a spray system that goes on, so we're probably gonna have to buy the tank and the spray system. You have to have a special water pump. Any of the pumps we have right now, you can't use them to spray water with. We were gonna try to do that at one time, but all of our trucks right
that
now.
natural flow doesn't work good?
No, we can't get it out uniform enough, and when we get down to the point where we need to be finishing off, we need to just be able to spray a light coat of water on it. And what we were having problems with, we were getting things too wet with just a gravity feed. We got to be able to control it better.
Okay, so there's all your items. No action taken on this. Give you time to look at those and see if there's anything you're interested in.
Y'all have any questions?
For the next agenda, we want to consider the purchase of both or either the cab chassis and the tank.
Yeah, we'll have to get back with you and see which way we kind of want to go. We may present both.
Okay. All right. Anything else in your report?
I think that's it.
I've got Mike Aarons here, and maybe you can start off if there's any questions before we get Mike to address us. But Mike is here at my request and thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to discuss any confusion or gray area or uncertainty as to who has road maintenance responsibility, along with that right-of-way maintenance responsibility, et cetera, in areas where the city has annexed or has annexed one side of the road. Right. I don't really recall what all the different scenarios were that we had questions on, but you all
I know we had questions
begin that conversation. What was the primary question that you had?
Mainly on like 1612 and 3010 South. 1612, that's the one that runs from Green Hill Road over to Harts Bluff. I think I don't know if y'all maintain the complete road or you maintain half the road. I think the city annexed the south side.
Carl, why don't you give that to Mike Aarons? That way he can address that, or you can come up here, either one.
I talked to Roger a little bit before the meeting started, but it just depends on the road. I mean, each one has maybe different circumstances depending on where we annex to. And I'll be glad to sit down with Roger. I got maps here I can give you or send you email, but it just depends. An example of Silver Creek that we annexed about 5 years ago, the neighborhood off of 1605, I guess it is. We've annexed that area, so we take in all those roads, and we've already paved them, since the annexation. The one you're talking about, which we call Phase 2 of Northwest 12, our Northwest 12 project, that actually, the road is in the county still, but the city rebuilt it. So obviously, we're going to take control and maintain it to protect, what we built. But the city limit actually goes up to the south side of the road. So I feel like the city will maintain the south side while the county will have to maintain, I'm talking about mowing in the right of way on the north side.
Because your code enforcement called us and we mowed some of the south side there.
Okay, well, let's take care of that.
I can't hear Roger.
Oh, sorry. We're talking about County Road 1612, and the city owns the south side of the road. So the north side is the county's responsibility, and the south side is the city's.
That's the one on the north side of the rodeo,
Yeah, it goes
Yes.
from Green Hill over to Harts Bluff Road.
the one that is going to be someday probably rebuilt by the city, but hasn't yet. That's the third segment.
The third segment, right, from Green Hill to Harts Bluff, that is a county road in the county. Our annexation goes up to the south side of your right-of-way.
Okay.
So you have to maintain both sides of that.
We mow both sides and maintain the road.
On that,
Does,
what to us is Phase 3, future Phase 3.
does the annex, it's annexed up to the road,
To the right-of-way,
to the right of way?
yes.
But doesn't include the
Well,
Does not include the road. And it's defined by meets and bounds.
And doesn't include the right-of-way either. So here we have the city on one side of the road, the county on the other, but you only go up to the right-of-way, so you're going to maintain the new road.
Correct.
But we'll maintain both sides as far as mowing of the right-of-way.
Of the one we have not done yet.
And we maintain the road until then?
Yes, it's a county road. It is not in city limits.
Well, I was told, and this was years ago, Jim Allison was on the, can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it's a state office now. He works with the Texas Association of Counties. But if you annex up to a county road, it's the city's responsibility to take that road over because you annexed to it. Now, if you didn't annex up to the road, then
Well, as our meets and bounds are not including the right-of-way or the road. The meets and bounds were defined when we annexed.
Okay, I understand that, but the state says if you annex up to a county road, then the city's responsible for taking it over. I think now, things have changed. This has been 15, 20 years ago since Jim told me this, unless it's changed. Now, you can back off from that county road a foot where you got a buffer zone of a foot there, and you don't have to take that road. But if you go up to the road, I think the city's supposed to take it. But let me check on that. I'd call Jim or Bob and talk with them. I think it would be a good idea to get John Mark to call them and ask for an opinion on that. Or I can, doesn't make any difference here.
Have you done some research on that, Mike?
I'm not aware of that one.
Okay. That sounds
This has
strange.
come up forward. And I know, out here as you're going south, I reworked that road, put new culverts in it, redone the whole thing, and then y'all come back, we had a guy taking a truck down through there, he had a home down there. And, it's all right if he's empty, but if he's loaded, he would start tearing that road up. But anyway,
I don't know
y'all
what you're talking
annexed
about.
that, what, 4 years ago?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, as you're going south, you turn there like you're getting on 271 bypass the new part.
Mm-hmm.
And that runs alongside the railroad track for about a mile, 2/10.
On the west side of the railroad track. south.
Yeah, for what we call now Virginia Lane.
Virginia Lane,
Yes. And that's fully inside the city limits. That road is inside the city. We're maintaining it.
That's right.
So if out there in the 1612 example, if you had annexed up to the right-of-way, and also on the north side, same situation, then it becomes 100% your responsibility? Is that what you're saying?
If that road is entirely in the city limits, yes, it's the city's responsibility.
Okay. But when it's only on half the side, your position, at least at this time, is your annexation goes up to the right-of-way, the road, and both sides of the right-of-way continue to be county responsibility?
Correct.
Okay.
And those, when we...
You're gonna, and he'll
And
check.
I'm not disputing what you're saying, but when we do the annexation, we actually survey the meets and bounds of the property, so we get precisely where, we want the line to be.
Yeah, and I understand that. I'm just wondering if there's some law that he's making reference to that creates a responsibility that doesn't necessarily make sense. We will pursue that. But at this time, that's your position until we can show otherwise.
And I think we need to check it.
Yeah. And I know and I've seen some cities who intentionally avoid county roads. They may annex one side and annex the other side and avoid a county road, and I would get that point of view if they were trying to avoid, that scenario, so they wouldn't have to maintain a road. And I've seen it a few times.
Okay.
I will get a hold of the Texas Association of Counties, and I'll get a written report up for you.
Another one that keeps coming up is 3010 South. Just turn there by Denman Drilling, go by the hot mix plant. Yeah, go to 67 and the interstate frontage road.
Okay, part of that is the cities. It's in the city limits, and the other part is not, and I can show you on a map.
But did y'all take the whole road, or?
Part of the road, yes, because we're on both sides of it.
Okay.
The very northern part, we did not, and the part across the interstate, we did not. It's not at all in the city.
City limit goes nearly to the interstate.
I'd show you, have to show you a map.
Okay.
Send me your email, and I'll send you.
Remember the mowing situation?
I'll send you the maps digitally if you want.
But there again, your opinion, the same situation. If you're on both sides, you maintain it all. If you're on one side, we still maintain the road and the right-of-way.
Right, and actually where he's talking about, I don't think we're on either side, on that very northern part of that road. That's McCall Road now.
Yeah, the first part of it, the city owns the first part of it, coming from 67.
Right.
Have y'all contacted those people about their mowing?
Well, I assume if they are in the city limits
'Cause I've
and
had
there's a mowing
calls,
issue, then yeah.
Because they never took care of them before, now they said they had to.
I don't know where code enforcement sends their letters.
This the road that goes by the asphalt plant?
Yes,
it
Heads
is.
heads due north to the
Interstate.
to the interstate, where the trailer houses are.
Yes, used to be old Johnson Trailer Park.
Right, and the trailer park's in the city.
Is
We
it?
took in all that.
Okay. Any other areas, Roger, that
No, I know
you're
those are
uncertain
two
about?
that's come up, so. You got one too, Adam?
1200, 271, the loop business by Lowe's. You got the city limit side, goes north on it's County Road 1200. And then the city limit signs out there, and right before you get there, there's a house, or two houses, that the road is all messed up coming out of their driveway and stuff, and the city tells them it's not their responsibility.
I don't know where
They're calling
1200
me,
is.
and
Old Parish Road.
if it's this side of the city limit sign, shouldn't that be a city street?
Well, it depends on where on the map the lines are. City limit sign on the road, I don't know, I'm not familiar with 1200 at all.
She's after me all the time to fix it, and then one other one, finally, we dumped some stuff in it, material, a year or two ago, another house, not that one.
If you have a question about any particular spot, call me and we'll pull the map up, or Roger, call me and we'll pull the map up and see. And then we'll know.
You got all these?
I'll leave these here with you, but even better, I'll send you digitals if you give me your email address.
It's about 200 yards in it, down that road, 1200. That's in the city limits, both sides.
If the map says so, it is.
Okay.
And what are you basing that on? That
City
200
limit sign
yard?
out there. The first part of it, we're not supposed to, and now we can aid and assist the city. We did that years ago. And if there was a place coming in and we're there, we would aid and assist the city. We've always done that.
We'll take care of our streets if they're in the city.
Okay.
You know,
Well, I can look at your map.
and if there's questions, we got a very detailed survey map we can look at.
So you're saying the sign is your assumption that at that point that's city property? Well, could it be possible that there's a city limit sign actually prior to when the city's property ownership begins? I mean, that's
It's
conceivable.
Absolutely possible, and then maybe one side, you know, TxDOT won't put up a city limit sign unless we're on both sides. If we extend out one side of a state highway, for example, say we're on the east side of a state highway for half a mile, but we're not on the west side, TxDOT won't put that city limit sign unless we're on both sides. So signs are signs, let's look at the maps.
Okay. So if you or anybody else has any question about who owns what, whose responsibility is what, funnel it through me and I'll get a hold of Mike, or you can contact Mike. But we can get answers on this stuff.
Sure.
And then the only thing that is left open right now is you doing some research on a one-sided situation. Okay?
Should get that pretty quick. And I'd like to see that map.
I'll get the maps from him, and we can print them out. I'll get the digital copy, and he's gonna leave this.
Anything else on this subject, Roger?
No, I think that's just the biggest thing right there, defining who maintains what, because it keeps coming up.
Well, until we find out any different, that's the city's assumption.
Okay.
Okay. Mike,
A lot
thank
of
you
it's
for
coming
coming.
up because of code enforcement is telling these people they gotta mow.
If they are in the city limits, our city ordinance requires them to move up to the curb line. Doesn't matter who owns it. So the idea is if it's their front yard, they don't get to stop 5 feet before the street. They, by city ordinance, have to mow up to the street. So if it's a city person calling you guys saying they got a letter, that's still their responsibility.
Well, it come up on 1612.
The other thing you're saying, Mike, is that if you bought a lot in the city limits on the south side of 1612, it could be that you're in the city limits, but your road is being maintained by the county, even though your lots.
Okay. Anything else related to roads or right-of-ways while you've got these gentlemen here? All right, thank you both. Item 6 is to consider and possibly approve an expenditure of $916 related to county participation in the new communications tower. And along with that, primarily we're here today to talk about a storage building that will be proper for housing this modern new equipment in the way of wiring, and I don't know what else is in there, Mike, in this new bunker you're building. What pieces of equipment are in there? I didn't know I was going to.
I'll address it the best I can because I wasn't here to address it.
Okay.
But we have the new Verizon. Verizon has built the city a new tower back behind the Civic Center and that fire station, and we're transferring everything from the old tower to the new tower. And your sheriff's office radio system, I guess, county, the commissioners? I believe so. I'm not sure if they're on that or not.
It is.
Okay, so we're transferring everything from the old tower to the new tower, and eventually the old tower will come down. As part of that, we bought a new equipment bunker that goes on the ground and stores all the equipment. And the cost that you have before you is to transfer your portion of equipment, the repeater.
And I'll read them those details
Okay,
in
from
that
the
letter.
old to the new.
Okay.
And each entity, there's I don't know if you have the whole list, but there's various entities, the hospital, sheriff's office, several city radio systems, all are apportioned a piece of the cost to do
That's
that.
just for the move on there, like I said, we're not paying for the.
That's correct. That's just the cost to.
Yeah, y'all are bearing the cost of the concrete building that
We
replaces an
have-
old U-Haul trailer, is
Yes,
that what
it
I was
actually-
told?
The back of a U-Haul trailer was that old building, and now we have a real communications
Okay.
building.
Well, thank you. Let me just read this. Here's an overview. This is from the Chief of Police. The City of Mount Pleasant has purchased a replacement communications shelter which has been placed at the Civic Center Tower site. The main scope of this project is to move the existing VHF and UHF repeater and radio systems within the old shelter into the new shelter. At the time of the project start, new antennas and feed line will have been installed at the new tower shelter. Cross-point communications responsibilities include move each agency's repeater to the new shelter. So we have Mount Pleasant PD, Mount Pleasant Fire Department, MP, what is PW? Public Works, Titus County Sheriffs, Titus Regional, and Titus County Commissioners. So those are all the 6 agencies that have got equipment that they depend upon in this structure. All termination of repeater and radio service prior to the move will be coordinated through the city via Chief Isbell and with their approval. Customer will also be notified upon completion and service restoration. So there's going to be a little bit of time here when we will not have communication capability, but it's a relatively short period of time, hour or two. Each repeater and radio will be placed into the new location with new feed line jumpers to the antenna, lightning surge protection, and cabinet rack grounding. The repeater radios will be tested by a cross-point technician before and after the move to the new shelter, and the results will be logged. Due to the age and condition of some of the repeater and radio equipment to be moved, there are no guarantees expressed or implied that it will remain functional once moved and reinstalled in the new shelter. Crosspoint will not be held responsible for any damage or loss of functionality. If any of the equipment requires repair, Crosspoint will facilitate that repair at the customer's request if that repair is possible and at the customer's expense. So here's the way that the cost sharing has been broken down. Mount Pleasant PD, $916.08. Same for the fire department, that same figure. Same for Public Works. Titus County Sheriff's Office, $916.08, same figure. Titus Regional, $3,664.32. And then Titus County Commissioners, $916.08. So I don't know why there was a heavy weighting on the hospital.
They have multiple repeaters.
Multiple, okay.
It's still $916 per repeater, but they just have multiple.
Okay. All right, I see. It's just 4 times that cost. So the total project, $8,244.72, and there's 2 components at $916.08 that we have, the Sheriff's Office and the County Commissioners. Any work that's required to complete this project not described in this statement of work will be considered above the scope of this proposal and subject to requotation or change order.
With your agenda item needs to stay $1,832.
Because Sheriff, I assume that you're wanting the count. This is not a budgetary item included in your budget. We didn't budget for this, so we really have 2 times that $916 that would cover both the Sheriff's Office and the County Commissioner's portions.
Do we have a line item that's just in non-department that is set up?
That's where both of these would go for something like this. Okay.
I don't know if it's in there, but I need to put some
Okay. All right. Do you all have any questions about this and what this is for? Again, the cost of that new shed made out of concrete will be borne by the city. This is just essentially the technical labor to get that moved. And so we do have two components, $916 for us, $916 for sheriff, total of $1,832.16.
I make a motion we approve.
Motion is made by Commissioner Riddle to approve these expenditures to cover our portion of these costs. Second by Commissioner Fields. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right. Thanks, Mike, again, Sheriff. Item number 7, discuss and possibly approve dates for County Cleanup Week. About that time again for spring cleaning, and we've been talking about trash lately. Maybe this is a good time for us to set up our dumpsters and promote our County Cleanup Week. Any details, Commissioner Fields, you can provide on this, just as a reminder how we've done this in the past?
Thank you, Mike. Now, in the past 5 or 6 years, Philip always took care of it to the point where they need to go. One thing, Roger, you're going to do, and this is not road work, but it's something we've done. The people of this county really enjoy that once-a-year cleanup deal. It has been very, very successful. The only problem is you'll have some places that are the biggest messes you've ever seen, and you'll have to clean them up. My advice is to get one man and a backhoe and go from dump site to site to site to site, pack it down, and you can make it go another day or something like that. And some of the, like Winfield, we have 2 dumpsters put out up there. We have one at my precinct barn, but Philip has all that now. He has all that on his laptop. By the way, he did buy that laptop several years back. It's his, but he does the work, a lot of work on that laptop getting this, because everything, he has to communicate back and forth, and they can get him on the phone with the technology that we have. Used to, you had to do it all by hand. Get on the old-timey phone and talk to people. I'm not sure, it runs so much of dumpster, I think, the pickup and stuff, but we try to get the most we can get out of that. I wish they will put them out, but Philip has every bit of that. And last the commissioners, do y'all have any changes from last year?
I don't think so.
Mr. Al, do you have any changes? It'd be the same as last year.
Is there one in each precinct?
There's multiple. Yes, multiple.
How many, roughly?
I've got 2 at Highway 49 and 1,000 out there, and then 2 at Cookville. Is what I've had in the past.
Okay. So you're satisfied with the number and locations that we've utilized before?
It's worked well, Judge. It's trial and error over the years, but it's worked out really well. I've had a lot of people, and I'm sure y'all have too, have asked us when are we going to do this cleanup. If 1 or 2 things are going to happen, they'll either pay for it and take it to the dump ground, or they can find our road somewhere where there's nobody at, homes or anything, and people just throw the stuff out. But it does work good. Everybody I've talked to really enjoy that benefit. They like it.
I had a lady call Friday wanting to know if we had a date set yet, and I told her it was supposed to be,
Carolyn brought me this from last year. This was Saturday, March 25 through Saturday, April 1. So you had a week-long campaign in there. Here were the locations. In Precinct 1, Highway 271 at Business 271, the old John Deere location, and County Road 1670 in the Piney community. Precinct 2, one at Winfield, one at Tri-Lakes Volunteer Fire Department, and one at the Precinct 2 barn. Precinct 3, old Precinct 3 barn, Highway 71 East in Talco, Argo Community Center, Sugar Hill Community Center. And then Precinct 4, corner of FM 1000 and 49, and then the Cookville walking track. Sound reasonable? And we've just used our local trash company to do that?
Yes.
So do y'all want to pick you want to pick dates out for this?
Calendar.
No.
Could we call the city, maybe we could coincide, the city and the county do it at the same time?
I don't know, Mike, if that, I think it was last year, might have been the year before, we had some problems when we coordinated with them because of the number of dumpsters and trying to get them dumped and all of that. Mine, it was a...
Too much load on the trash company?
It was a load on them, and people, I mean, they just keep dumping. If the dumpsters get full, they'll throw it out the side of it. And, you know, we have to take time to pick it up and put it in the dumpster. Of course, we use the backhoes to do it, but with a grappler on it and just pick it up and put it up in the dumpster, but it takes time to do that. So if we could keep it where the dumpster, of course, if we don't coordinate it with them, another thing that I've thought about too is if we don't coordinate it with the city, then we're going to have city people bringing stuff out to our dumpsters too. So that's something we might want to look at.
I know Mike would have they have a cleanup, I think,
Yes.
sometime in March.
It's usually somewhere either the week before ours, the week after, or is what they tried to do last year, if I'm not mistaken.
One thing they helped with last year, I think they just did it one day, didn't they?
I think so.
On a Saturday?
Yeah.
And then they do it in the fall.
They opened up the landfill on a Saturday, where we was just doing it once a year. They do it twice, but it's just one day, and we do it for a whole week.
They don't put dumpsters out, they just don't run the land.
They open up the landfill, and they have to haul it, so
They don't put out dumpsters also?
I don't think they do,
They
but
did it
it's,
one time, but they haven't.
yeah, I think they did it one time, but
You just take your bill out there and show it.
Well, then how would the overlapping of the two cause a problem?
well, that was what they told me, the lady out at the landfill, that they were having to coordinate with the city, and I guess they're having to take some of their resources and keep them at the landfill to keep, you know, take care of the flow in and out there.
They did down in the county, and they heard about the cleanup, that you could go to the deal and haul their stuff out there. They're not city residents, so,
They do a lot of it in precinct 1.
yeah.
It comes in out of Morris County. That they see it there, and they'll come in out of Morris County and bring it.
All right. Anybody have a calendar and want to choose a week then?
I don't have my phone.
I don't have a calendar on it, but I,
Dana's got one. What would be the comparable week to what we did here last year?
what day was that?
March 25, Saturday.
What was the date?
March 25 to April 1.
Maybe 24th.
Be the 24th through the 31st. Be comparable.
Want to go with that?
What day?
March 24th through the March 31st.
Be eight total days.
Sounds like a good day to me.
Okay. If y'all will make a motion, we'll approve it.
Make that motion.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to authorize a Titus County cleanup week for the week plus a day beginning Saturday, March 24 through Saturday, March 31, with the road department communicating with the trash company for placement of dumpsters at similar locations, same locations, part of your motion?
Unless the commissioners feel like they need a different spot, I'd go with the same locations, because I think everybody pretty well knows where those are at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, need a second on that.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor of approving these dates and locations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And there's none.
I would urge everybody, somebody to go check these dumpsters, because last year we had an overabundance of tires that I don't think that we accumulated that was ours.
This is something that we did several years ago. I say several, 2 or 3 years ago, we put a sign up there, no
Yeah.
tires.
But we
Put it on the dumpster.
we spent a lot of money on tires last year that I don't think they was
Well, that's where-
part of ours, but they just, it was.
If they don't know, they're going to put them in there.
They had this.
They gonna put, if there's not somebody sitting there watching them, they're gonna put them in there.
Well, we're not going to have
There's no-
anybody sitting there watching them, I
No,
assume.
I know that, but
I'm just talking about the ones that, we've had some out of dug dumpsters, but then we had a bunch that had the same kind of the mud and stuff that were like they was piled out somewhere, and then they brought them in from the dump, had them out there at the dump, city dump for a while, and that's what I'm saying. They look like they've been out there quite a while. I'm just telling, we just need to go by and check them and make sure that the tires, we can get them out. I'll get them out, because, you know.
And what do you do with them?
Well, like I said, we'll carry them up here at the shop.
To your
but
pile?
We're not getting tires from the city dump.
I hope not.
Well, if they're in our dumpsters, they're gonna take them out, and we're gonna have to pick them up.
Yeah, we had to pick them up at the.
Right.
yeah, that's what
That's
we
what
had
I'm
to do.
saying, though. They look like they've been there at the landfill for quite a while, though.
And we can't tell what's.
Yeah, well, I'll go check both of mine.
We always tried to pull ours out. If they were where we could get to them, we could reach in there with a backhoe or whatever and pull them out when we would mash them every morning. Because that's another thing, they're gonna charge us for every time that thing's dumped. So you try to get just as much as you can get in there before you call them to dump them.
But they'll dump multiple times during that week.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, anything else on that subject? Item number 8, approve oral and written reports. Thank you, sir.
Make a motion.
Motion is made by Commissioner Fields to approve these reports.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item is number 9, our treasurer's report for approval.
Thank you. Make a motion, we approve treasurer's report.
Motion is made for approval by Commissioner Parker.
Second.
Second is made by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 10 is approved budget amendments.
I've got some, Judge, but I haven't had a chance to show them down yet, so I don't know if you want to wait a bit of time to look at it, or if you want to look at it now.
You want to just go over them publicly?
Oh, okay. I don't think that you're controversial on it. This is 6 through 15. Number 6 is in the district attorney's forfeiture fund. It's just a line item change, $275. Number 7 is to budget a grant for radio expense in Homeland Security. That's just a grant, $11,240 in and out for radio expense for Homeland Security. Number 8 is just routine cleanup, line item changes between the, inside General County.
Any new money?
No, just line item changes. Number 9 is the sheriff's commissary fund, and that's just line item changes. Number 10 is a rifle plate grant, $13,505. A rifle plate.
Another grant.
We've had that for a long time, but that's just not coming through.
Right. I don't know what a plate is.
It's in their vest that.
It goes from bulletproof vest, and it keeps like isolation.
Okay. Well, I guess it's a plate inside their vest for a rifle shot.
Extra strength.
Yes, extra strength, $13,000. That's a grant. Number 11 is to budget the additional money for the part-time salary for J.P. McNutt that she came and addressed the court. I guess it was the last court. So that's the money for that. That's coming out of contingency.
That's coming out of contingency, and the amount of that is
$10,000. Yeah. I don't think she'll use all that, but that's what she requested, that's what she'll approve. And then this is just line item changes between the insurance fund.
no new money.
No new money. And then this is the maintenance barn, that software that y'all bought for them. It's like $3,100. That is new money is coming out of contingency because it wasn't in the original budget.
$3,100.
And this is the other side of that where it's in the money. That's coming out of, that's being transferred out of General County to the maintenance barn, and that's where the maintenance barn's getting the money and using it on the software. And then the last one is in the jury fund to set up the certificate pay for the court bailiff. So I think the district judges talked to y'all about that. Earlier, there's a report in there that y'all signed off on, his certificate pay. Yeah. Most of them
I think so.
have.
I think that's one that,
All the sheriff's deputies qualify for certificate pay. Ken is a law enforcement officer. He works over as the bailiff in the district judge's office. He asked if he had the certificates, if he could qualify to get the extra pay. The judges have requested that extra pay for certificates that he has. It's $120 a month. That's it.
Need approval on those?
Make a motion.
I second.
Motion and a second. Related to budget amendments, all in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Item 11, sign pay orders, approve payment of the bills.
Make a motion, we pay our bill.
Motion is made by Commissioner Parker. Seconded by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 12, closing comments. I'll begin on the right end. Commissioner Riddle, any closing comments?
Yeah, I didn't, the restroom on the first floor, the ladies' restroom does not get cool or warm as the men, and so Robert's Air Conditioning looked at it, and they've said that, well, two ways. They could do it by the hour, but they put some dampers on the ducts so it reduced the amount of air going to the men's and increase the one going to the ladies, or and the the guy from Roberts says that he couldn't give a deaf, but they do it as an hourly charge, but he thought it would be more. And he thinks just to put another 7-inch duct through that bathroom to the women's off of the other duct, the bigger duct, would be the proper way to fix it to equalize the temperature in those ladies' restrooms. And the ladies think they need to have it adjusted.
Roughly how much money are we talking?
$500, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. That's their best estimate?
That's just, yeah, he recommends a flat rate, and put it in, get it working, do all the stuff to do it. So, I don't know, whatever, we can put it as an agenda item, or I don't know how to go about it, or.
I would just get that done, repair and maintenance.
It's maintenance.
Okay, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's waiting on me to call him out.
Okay. Mr. Fields?
I don't have any problem. That's maintenance that needs to be fixed. Do it.
I don't know, Christie, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think, Sheriff? You think it needs to?
I want to know why it started getting so cold in there. It didn't used to do that.
Kind of a new phenomenon?
That's what bothers me,
Freezing cold in
yeah.
there. That's where there's no heat in there.
Well, the ductwork comes down there. It's got to be from the same unit that heats and cools the men.
Yeah, but I had done it before.
Sabotaged. Suffocate in
Is
there.
that thermostat control in James' office? I heard that.
Well, years ago it was, and that's on where somebody's changed something wiring around for that to change.
Or either a duct collapsed or something like that? Well, hopefully they'll find it. Yeah, nobody wants a cold bathroom. Nobody wants a cold bathroom. Yeah.
Judge.
Okay.
They have, I meant to say something also about the weigh station out there. They're still in the process of getting that trailer moved back. As soon as they get it, it'll be under maintenance, and we just get Ed to go out there and just plug everything back in. That's all he's got to do.
But you don't know when that's going to be?
Just as soon as they get it moved, they got to contract with somebody to move it and set it back down on that concrete, which is going to be a whole lot safer instead of going up them steps and walkways out there at the weigh station. I meant to bring that up. Sorry, Judge.
Okay. Is that it? Just a thank you to, they're not here, but a thank you to our elections administration for running a smooth campaign. I don't think they had any significant glitches this year and handled it well. So thanks to them. That's all I had.
Now, did they get hold of the guy that's going to do the shop? Did you ever get hold of him?
Do what?
Did you ever get the guy that's going to paint the inside the break room and stuff?
Yeah, he said, I talked to him again about 2 weeks now, and he said he was on his schedule to get to it.
Jimmy? I don't have anything. All right. With your motion to adjourn, we'll adjourn. Motion's made by Commissioner Applewhite, seconded by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. All right, thanks, everyone.